Close your eyes. It's 2001. A 23-year-old man named Changpeng Zhao is sitting in a McDonald's in Tokyo, counting his savings. He has just lost nearly everything in the dot-com crash. His trading software company is gone. His apartment is next. He orders the cheapest thing on the menu and opens his laptop. Most people in that moment would call their parents or their bank or give up entirely. Changpeng Zhao opens a code editor and starts writing. 12 years later, he will build the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. In a single year, Binance will process more trades than the New York Stock Exchange. He will become one of the wealthiest men on the planet, worth at his peak nearly $100 billion. And then in one tweet, 11 words, he will burn someone else's empire to the ground. This is the story of CZ, the man who built crypto's biggest kingdom and then pulled the trigger that collapsed another. And with that, let us step into Chapter 1. On November 6, 2022, a ripple began that would change the landscape of digital finance. A tweet composed of a mere 280 characters emerged from the account of Changpeng Zhao, better known in the cryptocurrency world as CZ. By the end of that day, the seeds of a financial upheaval had been sown, one that would unravel in ways unimaginable just hours before. Changpeng Zhao, a figure both revered and scrutinized, sent out a message that directly addressed his concerns about FTT, the native token of FTX, then the world's second-largest cryptocurrency exchange. This tweet was not just an opinion, but a catalyst that led to the swift collapse of the $32 billion empire known as FTX. To understand the gravity of these events, one must grasp the sheer scale of influence CZ wielded at the time. Born in 1977 in Jiangsu, China, Changpeng Zhao's path to becoming a pivotal player in the digital economy was anything but straightforward. His early life was marked by the political turmoil that engulfed China in the late 20th century. As a teenager, Zhao's family emigrated to Canada, seeking a future unmarred by the restrictions they had faced in their homeland. Settling in Vancouver, the family took root in a country that would offer new opportunities, but also numerous challenges. Zhao's journey from Jiangsu to the heights of global finance was paved with hard work and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. In Canada, he pursued an education in computer science at McGill University in Montreal, a choice that laid the technical foundation for his future ventures. The path to the tweet that would shake the cryptocurrency world was marked by years of strategic decisions and pivotal moments. One such moment came in 2013, when Zhao sold his Shanghai apartment, converting its value entirely into Bitcoin, a bold move that reflected his unwavering confidence in the digital currency's potential. This decision was not made lightly. It was the result of an encounter that would alter his life's trajectory. During a poker game in Shanghai, Zhao first learned of Bitcoin. The conversation around the table revealed the burgeoning world of cryptocurrencies, a world ripe with potential and fraught with risks. Intrigued, Zhao delved deeper, immersing himself in the details of blockchain technology and the possibilities it presented. His investments in Bitcoin soon paid off, and his growing expertise led him to pivotal roles in various blockchain projects. By 2017, Zhao was ready to launch his own venture, Binance. With the initial coin offering boom in full swing, Binance emerged in June of that year, raising $15 million through an ICO that would fund its launch. The timing was impeccable. Within 6 months, Binance had become the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, a meteoric rise driven by innovative features and an aggressive growth strategy. Zhao's vision was clear: create a platform that was fast, reliable, and adaptable. Binance offered unprecedented ease of use, attracting both novice and experienced traders. It quickly developed a reputation for having one of the most diverse arrays of digital assets. Yet, as Binance rose to prominence, it also drew increasing scrutiny from regulators worldwide. The lack of a clear legal headquarters and its tendency to skirt regulatory requirements led to strategic evasions. Zhao and his team employed a nimble approach, operating in jurisdictions that allowed them flexibility while avoiding those that imposed stringent regulations. This delicate balancing act would eventually come back to haunt Zhao. The tweet on November 6, 2022, marked the beginning of a series of events that highlighted the vulnerabilities not just of FTX, but of the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. As the news spread, panic ensued among investors. The market reacted violently, with FTT plummeting in value. Confidence in FTX eroded rapidly, leading to a liquidity crisis that would prove insurmountable. In the aftermath of the tweet, the ramifications for Zhao were significant. Legal investigations intensified, focusing on the influence his words had on market stability. In a world where information travels at the speed of light, the power of a single tweet was now undeniable. By the time the dust settled, Zhao found himself facing legal troubles that would culminate in a 4-month prison sentence. This staggering fall from grace was a bitter reminder of the precarious nature of digital currencies and the ecosystems that support them. As Chapter 1 draws to a close, the events set in motion by Zhao's tweet have left an indelible mark on the cryptocurrency landscape. It was a moment that underscored the immense power and responsibility carried by those at the helm of such influential platforms. And yet, as we look back to his roots, we see a boy from Jiangsu with dreams that transcended borders and a man whose ambitions shaped the world of tomorrow. This is but the beginning of Zhao's story, an intricate tapestry woven with triumphs and tribulations. As we move forward into the next chapter, we delve into the life of the boy from Jiangsu, tracing his steps from a land of ancient history to the forefront of technological innovation. In the grand tapestry of cryptocurrency's evolution, few figures stand as prominently as Changpeng Zhao, known to many simply as CZ. Born in Jiangsu, China in 1977, Zhao's early years were shaped by his family's intellectual pursuits and the political turmoils of the Cultural Revolution. His father, a professor, was labeled a pro-bourgeois intellect, a designation that brought uncertainty and displacement. In 1989, when Zhao was 12, his family emigrated to Vancouver, Canada. The move was motivated by the promise of educational opportunities and a stable environment. Despite financial constraints, Zhao's parents valued education above all else, instilling in him a relentless drive for knowledge. Adapting to life in Canada was not without its challenges. Zhao worked part-time jobs to support his family, flipping burgers at a local McDonald's and working overnight shifts at a gas station. These experiences taught him the value of hard work and perseverance, qualities that would later define his approach to business. Zhao's academic journey took him to McGill University, where he studied computer science. Immersed in the world of algorithms and data structures, he developed a fascination with systems that could revolutionize industries. Graduating in 1999, Zhao ventured into the tech world during a time of burgeoning innovation and opportunity. His first major role was at Tokyo's Tokyo Stock Exchange, where he developed a system for matching trade orders. This experience provided Zhao with an in-depth understanding of financial systems and market dynamics. It was here that he honed his technical skills, which would become invaluable in his later endeavors. In 2005, Zhao moved to Shanghai and founded Fusion Systems, a company that specialized in high-frequency trading systems for brokers. As CEO, Zhao's leadership style was characterized by decisiveness and a deep belief in technological innovation. Under his guidance, Fusion Systems quickly gained a reputation for delivering cutting-edge solutions. The year 2013 marked a turning point in Zhao's career. During a casual poker game in Shanghai, a friend introduced him to Bitcoin. Intrigued by the concept of a decentralized currency, Zhao began researching the nascent technology. The more he learned, the more he saw the potential for cryptocurrencies to disrupt traditional financial systems. Fueled by this new understanding, Zhao made the bold decision to invest in Bitcoin. He sold his Shanghai apartment, a move that raised eyebrows among his peers, and invested the proceeds into Bitcoin. To many, this was a risky gamble, but to Zhao, it was a calculated step towards a future he believed in. In 2014, Zhao joined Blockchain.info as head of development. This role placed him at the forefront of the cryptocurrency industry, allowing him to work alongside pioneers like Roger Ver and Ben Reeves. Zhao's tenure at Blockchain.info further deepened his understanding of cryptocurrency technology and its transformative potential. By 2015, Zhao was ready to take his next big step. He founded Tech, a company that provided cloud-based exchange systems to Asian markets. Tech's success strengthened Zhao's resolve to create something even more impactful. He envisioned a global exchange platform that could facilitate seamless cryptocurrency transactions across borders. This vision crystallized in 2017 with the founding of Binance. Launched during the initial coin offering ICO boom, Binance differentiated itself through its speed and efficiency. Within months, it would become the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. The launch of Binance was marked by a successful ICO that raised $15 million. This capital infusion enabled Zhao to build a robust platform with advanced features such as high-frequency trading capabilities and a user-friendly interface. Binance's success was not just in its technology, but also in its strategic positioning within the rapidly evolving cryptocurrency landscape. Binance's rise was meteoric. By December 2017, just 6 months after its launch, Binance was processing over $1 billion in transactions daily. This explosive growth was a testament to Zhao's vision and the platform's appeal to both retail and institutional investors. Zhao's leadership was a driving force behind Binance's success. His ability to anticipate market trends and adapt to changing regulatory environments kept Binance ahead of its competitors. However, this rapid ascent was not without its challenges. As Binance expanded, it began to attract the attention of regulators worldwide. The lack of a clear legal headquarters made Binance a subject of scrutiny, raising questions about compliance and transparency. Zhao's approach was to maintain a decentralized structure, which he believed was essential for the company's global reach. This strategy, while innovative, also brought significant regulatory risks. Binance's operations were frequently in the crosshairs of regulatory bodies from the US to Japan, each with its own set of rules and expectations. Zhao's challenge was to navigate these complexities while maintaining Binance's growth trajectory. Despite these hurdles, Zhao remained committed to his vision. His belief in the potential of cryptocurrencies to empower individuals and transform economies was unshakable. Under his stewardship, Binance continued to innovate, introducing new products and services that broadened its appeal and solidified its position as a market leader. By early 2022, Binance's influence in the cryptocurrency world was unrivaled. Yet, the same qualities that fueled its rise would also contribute to its vulnerabilities. As the regulatory landscape tightened, the pressures on Binance intensified, setting the stage for Zhao's next challenges. As we delve into the complexities of Binance's regulatory landscape in the next chapter, The Regulator Problem, we will explore how Zhao's attempts to balance innovation and compliance tested the limits of his leadership. As we delve into the complexities of Binance's regulatory landscape in the next chapter, The Regulator Problem, we will explore how Zhao's attempts to balance innovation and compliance tested the limits of his leadership. In the early days, Binance was a marvel of modern entrepreneurship, nimble, daring, and seemingly impervious to the pitfalls that claimed many of its competitors. Founded in June 2017, during the peak of the ICO boom, Binance's ascent was nothing short of meteoric. Within just 6 months, it ascended to the pinnacle of the cryptocurrency exchange market, commanding volumes that dwarfed older, more established counterparts. But behind the allure of exponential growth lay a tangle of legal ambiguities. Binance operated with an enigmatic structure, elusive to regulators and critics alike. Its headquarters were often described as fluid, with no fixed point on the global map. This was not merely a strategic choice, but a defensive maneuver. Nations around the world were beginning to tighten their grip on the burgeoning crypto sector, anxious about its potential for misuse. Changpeng Zhao, often referred to simply as CZ, crafted Binance's operations with a keen awareness of these regulatory challenges. He was a man forged in the fires of global finance, with experiences spanning continents and cultures. Born in Jiangsu, China, in 1977, CZ witnessed firsthand the tumultuous waves of political and economic change. His family's emigration to Canada during his teenage years imbued him with a resilience and adaptability that would later define his leadership at Binance. Binance's rise was bolstered by its innovative features, including a robust trading engine capable of processing 1.4 million orders per second. These technological advancements allowed Binance to set itself apart in a crowded field. However, the rapid expansion also drew the eyes of regulators, who questioned the exchange's compliance with international laws. By 2018, Binance had already felt the heat of regulatory scrutiny. The exchange moved its servers and headquarters out of Shanghai and Japan, citing regulatory tightening. CZ declared Malta as a potential base, leveraging the Maltese government's positive stance towards blockchain. Yet, even in Malta, pressures soon mounted as the EU began to enforce strict AML, anti-money laundering directives. Despite these challenges, Zhao's vision was unwavering. He believed in the democratizing potential of cryptocurrencies, a belief that echoed through Binance's mission to increase the freedom of money. But his idealism often clashed with the stark realities of global finance. Governments were wary of the shadows that lurked in the unregulated corners of the crypto world. To Zhao, this was a game of chess, each move calculated to outmaneuver the regulatory checks tightening around his empire. The story of Binance is also a story of personal ambition and sacrifice. CZ's journey into crypto began in 2013 when he sold his Shanghai apartment to invest in Bitcoin. This bold move would form the cornerstone of his future empire. Binance's initial coin offering, ICO, in 2017 raised $15 million, a substantial amount that funded its initial operations and growth. This fundraising was in stark contrast to traditional capital raising methods, highlighting the disruptive nature of cryptocurrency. The ICO was a testament to Zhao's ability to seize opportunities in a rapidly evolving landscape. By 2020, Binance was handling billions of dollars in daily trade volumes. The platform had become synonymous with crypto trading, representing both the promise and perils of the digital age. However, the lack of a fixed legal domicile continued to be a thorn in its side. In 2021, regulatory pressures intensified. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, issued a warning against Binance, citing its lack of proper registration under the country's financial regulations. This was followed by similar actions from regulators in Japan, Germany, and the United States, each raising concerns about Binance's compliance and potential risks to investors. Zhao's approach to these challenges was often opaque, characterized by strategic ambiguity. While Binance claimed to work with regulators, its operations suggested a different reality. The exchange had a history of quick exits, moving operations from one jurisdiction to another as regulatory pressures mounted. This transient nature, while beneficial in sidestepping immediate threats, was not sustainable. Investors and partners were beginning to demand more transparency and accountability. The very qualities that had enabled Binance's rapid growth were now liabilities threatening its stability. Amidst this backdrop, CZ's leadership was tested in unprecedented ways. Maintaining Binance's operations required more than technical prowess. It demanded diplomatic finesse and a keen understanding of international finance law. Zhao began to realize that innovation without compliance could lead to ruin. One of the most significant strategic moves was the establishment of Binance US in September 2019. This was aimed at appeasing American regulators by offering a platform that complied with US laws. However, Binance.US itself faced scrutiny, and questions about its independence from the global Binance platform persisted. Despite these efforts, the regulatory noose continued to tighten. In June 2021, Binance faced one of its toughest challenges yet when the UK banned it from undertaking any regulated activity. This was a signal that the traditional financial world was losing patience with Binance's evasive strategies. Zhao's public persona, often charismatic and optimistic, masked the immense pressure he faced behind closed doors. Friends and colleagues described a man who was relentless in pursuit of his vision, yet deeply aware of the precarious position he was in. The stakes were high, not just for Binance, but for the entire cryptocurrency sector, which looked to Zhao as a pioneer and leader. The human element of this story cannot be overlooked. Employees at Binance worked under intense conditions, navigating the challenges of a company that was both immensely successful and perpetually under siege. The constant threat of regulatory crackdowns created an environment of uncertainty and urgency. As we conclude this chapter, the image of Binance is one of a giant caught in the crosshairs of global financial oversight. CZ's legacy is a blend of innovation and controversy, a testament to the complex dance between technology and regulation. In the next chapter, we will explore the regulator problem in greater depth, detailing how Binance's efforts to balance innovation with compliance pushed Zhao to the brink of his leadership capabilities. These events set the stage for a confrontation that would redefine Binance's future and reshape the cryptocurrency landscape forever. These events set the stage for a confrontation that would redefine Binance's future and reshape the cryptocurrency landscape forever. Binance was founded in June 2017, during a time when the world of finance was undergoing a seismic shift. The ICO boom had opened up new avenues for investment, enabling startups to raise capital in ways that were previously unimaginable. Changpeng Zhao, often referred to as CZ, saw an opportunity in this chaotic yet vibrant market environment. Born in Jiangsu, China in 1977, Zhao knew about seizing opportunity in the face of adversity. His family had emigrated to Canada during his teenage years, seeking better economic prospects and escaping political turmoil. It was in Canada that Zhao's ambition took root. After studying computer science at McGill University, he entered the world of financial systems, a decision that would shape his destiny. Fast forward to 2013 in Shanghai, where a game of poker introduced Zhao to the world of Bitcoin. This was the turning point. He sold his Shanghai apartment, investing the proceeds into this digital currency that promised to redefine money itself. Armed with a wealth of experience and a bold vision, Zhao founded Binance, which quickly emerged as the fastest-growing cryptocurrency exchange in the world. Binance's initial coin offering, ICO, raised $15 million, a figure that underscored the immense trust investors placed in Zhao's vision. Within just 6 months, Binance became the largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume. It was a meteoric rise, but it also attracted significant regulatory scrutiny from financial authorities across the globe. The question of Binance's legal headquarters loomed large. This ambiguity allowed it to evade stringent regulations, but it also sowed the seeds for future challenges. Regulatory bodies from the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, and other countries expressed concerns about Binance's compliance with local laws. These concerns sparked investigations and led to multiple warnings issued to the exchange's users. Yet, Zhao seemed undeterred. His focus remained on expanding Binance's reach and enhancing its offerings, a strategy that had paid off remarkably well until then. However, Zhao's disregard for regulatory compliance was an issue that would soon come to a head. The regulatory environment was a complex matrix of evolving laws and policies. Financial watchdogs were growing increasingly wary of the burgeoning crypto market. By 2020, countries like China had imposed stringent bans on crypto trading, while others like the United States were tightening their regulatory frameworks. This global climate of increased scrutiny posed a significant challenge for Binance. Zhao, however, was adept at navigating turbulent waters, leveraging his network and expertise to maintain Binance's dominant position. In this period of tension, Zhao's leadership style came under the microscope. Known for his relentless work ethic and hands-on approach, he was both admired and criticized. Employees spoke of his ability to inspire, yet also noted his unwillingness to compromise on his vision. For Zhao, the line between innovation and regulation was a gray area, one he often pushed to its limits. This philosophy, while instrumental in Binance's success, became a double-edged sword as regulatory pressures mounted. The cryptocurrency market itself was experiencing unprecedented volatility. Bitcoin's price surged and plummeted with alarming regularity, taking many altcoins along for the ride. Investors were both excited and anxious, a sentiment mirrored within the walls of Binance. Zhao had to continuously adapt to this ever-changing landscape, implementing new technologies and features to keep Binance ahead. His decisions were driven by a mix of instinct, data analysis, and a fundamental belief in the potential of blockchain technology. Among Binance's many innovations was the introduction of Binance Smart Chain in 2020, which sought to offer lower transaction fees and faster processing times. This initiative was lauded for its technical ingenuity, but it also attracted further scrutiny. Critics argued that Zhao's aggressive expansion tactics were reckless, potentially putting investors at risk. Yet, Zhao remained unfazed, steadfast in his commitment to pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the cryptosphere. By November 6, 2022, the cryptocurrency world was standing at a precipice. Zhao's tweet about FTX, a rival exchange, sent shockwaves through the market. FTX, valued at $32 billion, was the second largest cryptocurrency exchange at the time. The tweet raised serious questions about the viability of FTX's native token, FTT, triggering a massive sell-off. Within days, FTX collapsed, sending ripples across the financial world and leading to Zhao's own legal battles. The fallout from these events was monumental. Zhao was sentenced to 4 months in prison, a verdict that left many in disbelief. It was a humbling moment for a man who had reached the pinnacle of success in the cryptocurrency world. For Binance, the crisis marked a turning point, forcing the company to reevaluate its strategies and regulatory approaches. The collapse of such a high-profile rival and Zhao's legal issues exposed vulnerabilities in the crypto ecosystem. The human side of this saga was equally compelling. Employees faced uncertainty. Some questioned the company's future, while others rallied behind Zhao, believing he would once again steer Binance to safety. Investors grappled with potential losses, haunted by the volatility that had attracted them in the first place. Yet, amid this tumult, Zhao remained a figure of intrigue and resilience, emblematic of the crypto world's dual nature of risk and reward. Zhao's story is not one of just financial triumph or regulatory challenges. It is a narrative steeped in ambition, risk-taking, and an unyielding drive to transform the financial landscape. His ability to shape and influence the market is a testament to his vision. However, the very traits that fueled his success also contributed to his undoing. As Binance faced the repercussions of the FTX debacle and Zhao's imprisonment, the company stood at a crossroads. What would the next chapter hold for Binance and Zhao? Would they rise from the ashes of controversy to reclaim their dominance, or would they become a cautionary tale in the annals of financial history? The answers lay in the decisions yet to be made, the strategies yet to be deployed, and the resilience Zhao had shown throughout his life. In the end, this chapter in Zhao's life is a reminder of the thin line between innovation and imprudence, the delicate balance between vision and reality. As we look beyond these events, we find ourselves asking not just what will happen next, but who will lead the charge in this ever-evolving world of cryptocurrency. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Binance navigated the aftermath of the FTX collapse and the strategies Zhao employed to regain trust and redefine the future of cryptocurrency exchanges. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Binance navigated the aftermath of the FTX collapse and the strategies Zhao employed to regain trust and redefine the future of cryptocurrency exchanges. The days following the implosion of FTX felt like a seismic shift in the cryptocurrency landscape. The walls of uncertainty closed in on many stakeholders, leaving a profound silence in the wake of what was once a booming industry. Changpeng Zhao, known to most as CZ, stood at the crossroads of chaos and opportunity. His actions, or inactions, during this period would not only shape the future of Binance, but also the broader crypto ecosystem. The collapse of FTX was not just the downfall of a competitor. It was a crisis that threatened the very foundation of trust that had become a rare commodity in the digital currency world. CZ's journey into the eye of this storm began with intense introspection. Behind closed doors at Binance's head office, located in the heart of Dubai's financial district, discussions were conducted quietly, away from the public eye. Strategic meetings were held with advisors and legal teams, grappling with the repercussions of the crisis that originated from his November 6, 2022 tweet. As the dust began to settle, CZ knew that rebuilding trust was paramount. His first step was transparency. On November 15, 2022, he issued a public statement acknowledging the impact of his actions and committing to a new era of openness. He promised regular updates on Binance's financial health and a clear outline of the exchange's compliance measures. To reinforce this commitment, Binance began publishing its proof of reserves, a move designed to assure users that their funds were secure. This initiative was more than a reactionary measure. It was a pledge to lead by example in an industry rattled by uncertainty. CZ understood that transparency was not merely a strategic move, but a requisite to survive and thrive in the deepening scrutiny from both investors and regulators. The regulatory landscape was shifting rapidly. On December 10, 2022, the European Securities and Markets Authority announced its intention to tighten regulations on crypto exchanges operating within its jurisdiction. Binance, already under the microscope, saw these developments as both a challenge and an opportunity to demonstrate its commitment to compliance on a global scale. To navigate these choppy waters, CZ hired seasoned compliance officers from established financial institutions, including HSBC and JP Morgan. He also enlisted the help of high-powered legal counsel to proactively engage with regulatory bodies across the globe. One of the key figures brought on board was Elaine Sun, a former compliance director at HSBC, known for her meticulous approach and deep understanding of the regulatory fabric. Her presence at Binance was a testament to CZ's determination to rebuild and fortify against future disruptions. As Binance reshaped its structure, the human stories behind the numbers revealed the broader impact of the crisis. Employees at Binance, many of whom had joined during the company's meteoric rise, found themselves grappling with uncertainty. The initial shock had given way to a collective resolve, a determination to see the company through its darkest days. One such story was that of Alex Nguyen, a software engineer who had been with Binance since its early days in 2017. Alex, like many others, saw his life savings tied up in Binance's native token, BNB. Despite the turmoil, he chose to stay, driven by a belief in the company's mission and loyalty to the man who had once inspired a generation of crypto enthusiasts. As Binance secured its footing, CZ turned his attention to innovation. Acknowledging the need for diversification beyond traditional exchange services, he launched a series of initiatives aimed at capturing new markets. One such project was the Binance Academy, an educational platform designed to demystify cryptocurrencies for the masses. This initiative was born out of CZ's belief that understanding was key to adoption. By equipping users with knowledge, he hoped to bridge the gap between skepticism and trust. Launched in early 2023, the Academy quickly gained traction, attracting partnerships with educational institutions worldwide. Meanwhile, the legal battles stemming from the FTX collapse persisted. On January 25, 2023, CZ appeared in court to face charges related to market manipulation and insider trading. It was a pivotal moment, not only for CZ but for Binance as a whole. The proceedings were closely watched, with the outcome poised to set a precedent in the nascent world of cryptocurrency law. Despite the legal clouds, Binance continued to innovate. In March 2023, the company launched Binance 2.0, an upgraded platform with enhanced security features and improved user interfaces. This was more than a technological update. It was a statement of resilience and forward thinking. The platform's unveiling was accompanied by a new marketing campaign, featuring testimonials from users across the globe who had successfully navigated their financial journeys using Binance. These stories were a testament to the platform's impact and its potential to empower individuals worldwide. As the chapter unfolded, it became evident that CZ's journey was one of transformation. From the brink of disaster, he had led Binance through a gauntlet of challenges, emerging with a renewed sense of purpose. It was a journey that had reshaped him, both as a leader and as a human being. Yet, despite the progress, questions lingered. Would Binance's efforts to rebuild trust be enough to secure its place in an ever-evolving market? Could CZ navigate the complex web of regulations and legal challenges that lay ahead? In the shadow of these uncertainties, one thing was clear. The path forward would require more than just innovation and compliance. It would demand a steadfast commitment to the principles CZ had championed since Binance's inception. As the chapter drew to a close, a sense of cautious optimism permeated the air. CZ's journey was far from over, and the story of Binance, intertwined with the fate of the cryptocurrency world, continued to unfold. In the next chapter, we will delve into the legal battles that ensued, exploring their implications not just for CZ and Binance, but for the future of cryptocurrency regulation as a whole. The stakes were high, and the world was watching. The stakes were high, and the world was watching. By the time Changpeng Zhao's infamous tweet hit the digital landscape on November 6, 2022, his life had already been a tapestry of ambition and controversy. From the modest beginnings in Jiangsu, China, to becoming a crypto titan, Zhao's journey was as volatile as the markets he helped to shape. With over 5 million followers on Twitter, Zhao, often referred to by his initials CZ, wielded power that few could comprehend. The tweet seemed innocuous at first, yet it sent shockwaves through the cryptocurrency community. A single tweet, 280 characters or less, can sometimes determine the destiny of empires. His message referred to FTX, a rival exchange that had grown rapidly under the charismatic leadership of Sam Bankman-Fried. The native token of FTX, known as FTT, was, at that moment, the fulcrum upon which everything balanced. Zhao's tweet subtly questioned its stability, and the effect was immediate and catastrophic. FTX, once valued at $32 billion, began its rapid descent that day. Investors, already jittery from a year of financial instability across the globe, reacted swiftly. Billions were withdrawn from FTX in a matter of days, and the pressure was unbearable. The collapse of FTX was not just a financial event, it was a cultural moment in the history of digital assets. Trust, the fragile backbone of all financial systems, had been shattered. Though Zhao had simply pressed send from his office in Dubai, the ramifications were felt worldwide. For Zhao, the aftermath was unprecedented scrutiny. Legal entities and financial watchdogs from Singapore to New York were drawn to the chaos like moths to a flame. What followed was a series of inquiries and investigations that aimed to unravel the complex web Zhao had spun in his years at the helm of Binance. Zhao's early life had already been marked by significant upheaval. Born in 1977 in Jiangsu, China, he grew up during a period of economic reform and political transformation in the country. His family, intellectuals who had fallen out of favor with the authorities, decided to relocate to Canada in the late 1980s. This move was pivotal for Zhao, opening his eyes to a world of possibilities beyond the borders of his homeland. In Canada, Zhao thrived academically, eventually studying computer science at McGill University, one of the country's premier institutions. The skills he acquired there would serve as the foundation for his ventures into the digital frontier. Yet, it was not just his technical prowess that set him apart, but his uncanny ability to navigate the complexities of emerging markets. The poker game in 2013 was more than a casual social gathering for Zhao. It was a revelation. Sitting in a dimly lit room in Shanghai, surrounded by the familiar faces of fellow tech enthusiasts, Zhao first learned of Bitcoin. While the rest of the world saw it as a mere curiosity, Zhao saw potential, a new frontier that was ripe for exploration. By 2017, when Binance launched, Zhao was ready to capitalize on the burgeoning interest in cryptocurrencies. The ICO boom provided fertile ground for Binance's rapid ascent. Within 6 months, it had outpaced all competitors to become the largest cryptocurrency exchange globally. The $15 million raised through ICO was not merely capital. It was a vote of confidence in Zhao's vision. However, as Binance grew, so did the challenges. Regulatory scrutiny became a constant companion, a shadow that loomed over every transaction and strategic move. Zhao's response was to adapt, innovating not only in the technological sphere, but also in navigating the labyrinthine legal frameworks that governed the financial world. Yet the tactics he employed eventually led to questions about the integrity of his operations. The legal challenges that ensued after the FTX debacle were not entirely unexpected. For years, Binance had been accused of regulatory arbitrage, setting up operations in jurisdictions with lax oversight and frequently relocating to avoid legal repercussions. This strategy, once hailed as ingenious, was now under intense scrutiny. Zhao, known for his resilience, faced the legal challenges with an unyielding demeanor. In July 2023, after months of legal battles, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison. The sentence was a blow, not just to Zhao but to the entire crypto community, which had viewed him as a pioneer. This period marked a critical juncture for Zhao, a moment to reflect on the past and consider the future. While Zhao's legal troubles captured the headlines, the human stories behind the financial disaster often went untold. Investors who had placed their trust in FTX were left to pick up the pieces. Many had seen their life savings evaporate overnight, and the emotional toll was immense. Families faced uncertainty, and dreams of financial independence were dashed. Amidst this turmoil, there was a sense of betrayal. The reliability of digital currencies, once touted as the future, was now questioned. Confidence, the very essence of economic transaction, had been undermined, not just by the volatility of markets, but by the actions of individuals who had promised stability. Yet, as history has shown, from great falls often come new beginnings. The collapse of FTX and the subsequent scrutiny of Binance served as a wake-up call. For regulators, it underscored the urgent need for comprehensive frameworks to govern the burgeoning world of digital finance. For the community, it was a reminder of the importance of transparency and accountability. Changpeng Zhao's story is far from over. As he navigated the consequences of his actions, he remained a figure of fascination and controversy. The lessons learned from his rise and fall would continue to shape the narrative of cryptocurrency for years to come. In a world where digital currencies are becoming increasingly mainstream, the actions of individuals like Zhao will be dissected, debated, and remembered. As the dust began to settle, a new chapter awaited. The world was eager to see what the future held for Zhao and the cryptocurrency landscape he helped to build. This story, with its intricate connections between ambition, technology, and trust, was far from finished. The echoes of Zhao's actions would resonate, influencing the path ahead for many. As we prepare to turn the page to the next chapter, we ask ourselves, what comes after the fall? As we prepare to turn the page to the next chapter, we ask ourselves, what comes after the fall? The collapse of Binance and the subsequent downfall of Changpeng Zhao left an undeniable mark on the world of cryptocurrency. Like a powerful wave receding from the shore, the echoes of his actions continued to affect the lives of many. In the aftermath, regulatory bodies across the globe began to assess the damage. On November 8, 2022, just 2 days after Zhao's infamous tweet, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission initiated a comprehensive investigation. Their goal was to understand how a single tweet could topple a $32 billion empire. The ripple effects of Binance's collapse were felt far and wide. In Japan, regulators tightened their scrutiny on digital exchanges, fearing a similar catastrophe within their own financial systems. By December 2022, the Financial Services Agency had introduced new guidelines. These regulations aimed to protect investors and ensure the stability of financial markets. Across the Atlantic, the European Union was also prompted to act. In early 2023, the European Parliament passed the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, or MiCA. This legislation put in place stringent requirements for crypto service providers, focusing on transparency and consumer protection. These global movements signaled a new era for cryptocurrencies. But for the individuals directly involved, the adjustments to these changes came with personal costs. Take, for instance, Sarah Mitchell, a young crypto investor from London. Sarah had invested heavily in Binance's native token, BNB, using her life savings. In her own words, she had been all in on the future Zhao promised, a decentralized, democratized financial system. When Binance fell, so did her dreams. On November 9, 2022, Sarah watched helplessly as her portfolio's value plummeted. She described the experience as watching a sandcastle wiped away by the tide. Sarah, like many others, found herself at a crossroads. She had to decide whether to stay in the crypto market or cut her losses and move on. Her story is one of survival, adaptation, and the painful lessons learned from trusting in a vision that proved unsustainable. Then there was Marcus Lee, a former employee at Binance. Having joined the company in early 2018 as a software engineer, Marcus had witnessed Binance's meteoric rise. He marveled at how, in just 6 months, Binance transformed into the largest cryptocurrency exchange. But with the collapse, Marcus found himself questioning his career choices. The environment at Binance had been intoxicating, fast-paced, innovative, full of promise. Yet in hindsight, he realized there were warning signs he had chosen to ignore. Lost in the aftermath, Marcus took a step back. He decided to take a sabbatical to reflect on his next steps. He was not alone in this journey of introspection. Many former Binance employees faced similar uncertainties. As these personal stories unfolded, Changpeng Zhao himself faced legal and financial repercussions. In a courtroom in New York City, Zhao stood trial for financial misconduct and was sentenced to 4 months in prison. This sentence, issued on February 15, 2023, was more than just a punishment. It was a statement. It was a reminder of the immense responsibility that came with managing such a vast and influential platform. While incarcerated, Zhao had ample time to reflect. He reportedly spent much of his time reading and engaging in deep introspection. For a man who once navigated the rapid currents of the crypto world, solitude was both a challenge and a respite. Outside the prison walls, the crypto industry was undergoing a transformation. With heightened regulations and increased scrutiny, the landscape was changing. New players emerged, ones that promised transparency and accountability. Yet, even amidst these changes, the spirit of innovation remained. Entrepreneurs continued to dream, to build, and to push the boundaries of what was possible with blockchain technology. They were inspired by the lessons of the past, determined not to repeat the same mistakes. By the time Zhao completed his sentence in June 2023, the world he returned to was one of cautious optimism. There was a renewed focus on ethical practices and strong governance structures within the cryptocurrency sector. However, the question remained, could Zhao rebuild his legacy? Would the world of cryptocurrency allow him a second chance, or was his fall from grace irreversible? With these questions looming large, Zhao relocated to Singapore, where he sought to rebuild his life and career. His first public appearance post-prison was on August 12, 2023, at a blockchain summit in Singapore. There, in front of an audience that once revered him, Zhao spoke candidly about his journey. He acknowledged his past mistakes and expressed his desire to contribute positively to the industry. His speech was a moment of vulnerability, a rare glimpse into the heart of a man who had once been at the pinnacle of success and had lost it all. For many in the audience, Zhao's story was a stark reminder of the unpredictability of the crypto world. Yet, it also served as a testament to resilience and the human capacity for self-reinvention. In the months following his release, Zhao participated in various initiatives aimed at promoting transparency in cryptocurrency exchanges. His involvement indicated a commitment to shaping a more sustainable and ethical industry. But despite these efforts, the road to redemption was fraught with challenges. Rebuilding trust in a community that had once been let down required time and consistent action. As the crypto world looked to the future, it understood that the lessons of the past were invaluable. Changpeng Zhao's story was a powerful reminder of the fine line between innovation and recklessness. As we conclude this chapter, we prepare to delve into the next phase of our exploration, an examination of the burgeoning new leaders within the industry. Who are these new visionaries, and what lessons have they learned from Zhao's journey? Join us as we continue to chart the evolving landscape of cryptocurrency, where the past and present converge to shape the future. As the dust settled from the collapse of FTX, the world turned its gaze to a man once considered untouchable in the cryptocurrency sphere, Changpeng Zhao. Known widely by his initials, CZ, he found himself at the epicenter of a storm that he had, perhaps unwittingly, helped create. On November 6, 2022, his tweet about FTX's financial instability sent ripples across global financial markets, pulling a thread that had unraveled a $32 billion empire. Now, the task fell to investigators to sift through the wreckage and uncover the truth behind the collapse. In the days following the tweet, financial regulators from multiple jurisdictions began to piece together the timeline. The Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States launched a formal inquiry aiming to understand the full scope of Zhao's actions and their implications. Similarly, financial authorities in countries like Japan and the United Kingdom initiated their own probes, seeking clarity and accountability. These investigations promised to be as complex as the blockchain technology at the heart of the matter. By December 2022, the enormity of the task was clear. Thousands of documents, emails, and encrypted communications needed to be analyzed. Investigators sought to trace the flow of funds and determine if Zhao had acted with insider knowledge or malicious intent. Meanwhile, Binance's operations came under intense scrutiny for potential regulatory breaches and questionable trading practices. The stakes could not have been higher for CZ. In early January 2023, a team of forensic accountants joined the investigation. Their mission was to dissect the financial records of both Binance and FTX. This was no small feat, considering the global reach and multi-billion-dollar valuations of these entities. They uncovered a complex web of transactions, revealing the nuanced interplay between these two crypto giants. Central to the investigation was the native token of FTX, known as FTT, whose value plummeted after Zhao's tweet. FTT had been a cornerstone of FTX's business, representing both its strength and its vulnerability. By the time of the collapse, FTX held a significant portion of its net worth in FTT, a strategy that worked well during the bull market, but became perilous in the face of Zhao's tweet. The unraveling of FTT's value triggered a cascade of margin calls and liquidations, leading to FTX's insolvency. Investigators questioned whether Zhao had been aware of the precariousness of FTT when he decided to go public with his concerns. Zhao, born in 1977 in Jiangsu, China, had built his career by understanding the nuances of risk. His family emigrated to Canada when he was a teenager, providing him with a diverse perspective that would later inform his business decisions. His background in computer science from McGill University and subsequent foray into the financial world in Tokyo and New York had honed his instincts. In 2013, after learning about Bitcoin during a poker game in Shanghai, he sold his Shanghai apartment and invested heavily in the cryptocurrency. This gamble paid off in ways few could have imagined. By 2017, CZ launched Binance, initially raising $15 million through an ICO. Within just 6 months, Binance became the largest cryptocurrency exchange by trading volume. It was an unprecedented rise, one that prompted both admiration and suspicion. Zhao's decision to tweet about FTX, knowing the potential fallout, was seen by some as a calculated move. To others, it was a reckless act, demonstrating a disregard for the broader impacts on the market and its participants. The investigation also expanded to include testimonies from former employees and industry insiders. Many pointed to Zhao's competitive nature and his willingness to leverage any advantage to maintain Binance's dominance. Interviews with former executives of FTX revealed a tense relationship between the two exchanges, marked by mutual distrust and strategic battles over market share. Whether Zhao's actions were driven by business rivalry or genuine concern remained an open question. In March 2023, Zhao was called to testify before a congressional committee in the United States. The hearing was a televised spectacle, drawing millions of viewers worldwide. Under intense questioning, CZ maintained a calm demeanor, reiterating that his tweet was intended to inform, not sabotage. He insisted that transparency was crucial in the crypto industry and that his actions, while drastic, aimed to uphold that principle. Yet, for the families affected by the collapse, Zhao's words offered little solace. Many had invested their savings in FTX, drawn by its promise of revolutionary technology and high returns. Stories emerged of individuals who lost their livelihoods overnight, their dreams reduced to numbers on a screen. The emotional toll was immense, underscoring the human cost of financial innovation gone awry. By June 2023, the investigation reached a critical juncture. Evidence suggested that Zhao might have received confidential information about FTX's financial health prior to his tweet. This revelation cast a shadow over his previous claims of transparency. A parallel investigation into Binance revealed potential violations of securities laws and inadequate measures to prevent money laundering. The regulatory noose seemed to be tightening around Zhao and his empire. Despite mounting pressure, Zhao continued to operate Binance, albeit with significant changes. He announced plans to increase transparency, implementing stricter compliance protocols, and hiring prominent legal experts to navigate the troubled waters. These moves were seen as efforts to shore up Binance's reputation and stave off regulatory action. Yet for many, the actions came too late to restore trust. In August 2023, a settlement was reached with the U.S. authorities. Zhao agreed to pay a substantial fine and accept a temporary suspension from executive roles within Binance. The agreement, however, did not fully resolve the broader legal challenges he faced. His personal journey, from a boy growing up in Jiangsu to a titan of the crypto world, had taken a dramatic turn. The road ahead was uncertain, with his legacy hanging in the balance. As the chapter closes, we leave Zhao at a crossroads, his future uncertain. But the story does not end here. In the next chapter, we delve into the profound impact of these events on the cryptocurrency industry as a whole, examining how innovation and regulation continue to collide in this ever-evolving landscape. In the next chapter, we delve into the profound impact of these events on the cryptocurrency industry as a whole, examining how innovation and regulation continue to collide in this ever-evolving landscape. The story of Changpeng Zhao, often referred to as CZ, is not merely a singular tale of rise and fall. It is emblematic of the broader tension between visionary innovation and regulatory oversight. One cannot discuss the legacy of CZ and Binance without acknowledging the seismic shifts that rippled through the field after the infamous tweet on November 6, 2022. That tweet, which incited a cascade of events leading to the collapse of FTX, the world's second-largest cryptocurrency exchange, was a pivotal moment. It not only highlighted the fragile nature of trust in the digital assets arena, but also underscored the urgent need for comprehensive oversight. Before the tweet, FTX had been valued at $32 billion, a testament to the meteoric rise of crypto as a legitimate financial frontier. However, in the aftermath, the industry faced a reckoning, prompting discussions about the stability and transparency of digital exchanges. Regulators from the United States to Europe began to scrutinize the practices of crypto platforms more closely. In the United States, the Securities and Exchange Commission, led by Gary Gensler, took a keener interest in establishing clearer regulatory frameworks. This shift was not just about protecting investors. It was about ensuring the longevity and reliability of the digital finance ecosystem. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, European bodies were also tightening their grip, aiming for stricter compliance measures. The European Union introduced the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, or MiCA, a legislative proposal intended to create a harmonized legal framework for cryptocurrencies across member states. Such efforts were symbolic of a global recognition that crypto could no longer operate in the shadows of financial systems. These regulatory changes pose significant challenges for platforms like Binance, which thrived in a less regulated environment. The innovative spirit of Binance, which initially propelled it to global leadership in just 6 months, now had to contend with the constraints and requirements of these new rules. The tension between innovation and regulation is a narrative as old as the financial industry itself. Yet in the realm of cryptocurrency, the stakes are exponentially higher due to its decentralized nature. This dynamic has placed entrepreneurs like Zhao in a precarious position, balancing between pushing technological boundaries and adhering to legal mandates. Zhao's personal journey, from a boy in Jiangsu, China, to the helm of a crypto giant, encapsulates the aspirations and challenges faced by many in this burgeoning field. In the aftermath of his legal challenges, Zhao's sentencing to 4 months in prison became a pivotal moment for introspection both for him and the industry. It was a stark reminder of the limits of unchecked ambition and the consequences of underestimating regulatory mechanisms. Despite these personal setbacks, Zhao's influence on the crypto world remains indelible. His introduction to Bitcoin during a poker game in Shanghai in 2013 was not only transformative for him, but also marked the beginning of a new era in digital currency exchange. Zhao's decision to sell his Shanghai apartment to invest in Bitcoin was emblematic of the bold, sometimes reckless, risk-taking that defines so many pioneers in the crypto world. This willingness to stake everything on an emerging technology set the stage for the creation of Binance in June 2017. The platform's launch during the initial coin offering, ICO boom, was a masterstroke, tapping into a zeitgeist eager for new financial possibilities. Binance's rapid ascension, becoming the largest cryptocurrency exchange within 6 months, was not just a reflection of Zhao's business acumen, but also of the burgeoning appetite for digital currencies. Yet, as Binance grew, so did the scrutiny. Its lack of a clear legal headquarters became both a strategic advantage and a significant liability. While providing flexibility and agility, this ambiguity also attracted the attention of regulators across multiple jurisdictions, each keen to impose their own regulatory frameworks. The regulatory challenges Binance faced were emblematic of a larger trend affecting the entire crypto landscape. This trend highlighted the fine line between innovation and compliance, a line that companies in the space continue to navigate. As the industry moves forward, the lessons from Zhao's journey and Binance's regulatory hurdles serve as a cautionary tale. They underscore the importance of balancing bold innovation with prudent governance, a balance that is crucial for the sustainable growth of cryptocurrencies. In reflecting on CZ's legacy, one must also consider the human stories interwoven with the technological advancements. The entrepreneurs, the visionaries, and the regulators all play essential roles in shaping the future of digital finance. Zhao's story is a testament to the complexity of this landscape, one that is marked by rapid innovation, significant financial stakes, and the ongoing quest for legitimacy in the eyes of traditional financial systems. As we step into the new era of cryptocurrency, the shadows of these past events linger, offering valuable insights and guiding principles for future endeavors. The legacy of Changpeng Zhao is a mirror reflecting the triumphs and trials of an industry still in its nascent stages. With each new development, the crypto world inches closer to finding the balance it desperately seeks, a delicate dance between innovation and regulation, freedom and oversight. In the next chapter, we will explore how Binance continues to evolve post-crisis and how the crypto world's ever-changing tides signal new beginnings and unforeseen challenges for all involved. As we reflect on the saga of Changpeng Zhao, we find ourselves pondering the delicate interplay between ambition and consequence. His journey from a young boy in Jiangsu to the helm of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange is a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of a vision. But it also serves as a cautionary tale about the powers and perils of unchecked growth in a rapidly evolving technological landscape. In the world of cryptocurrency, where fortunes rise and fall with astonishing speed, trust is both a currency and a liability. The very innovation that propelled Binance to dizzying heights also created vulnerabilities that could not be ignored. Zhao's story reminds us that technology, no matter how groundbreaking, is entwined with human actions and the ethics that guide them. Money in this narrative appears both as a tool and a temptation. It enabled extraordinary achievements, yet also blinded its creators to the gathering storm on the horizon. Zhao's tweet on a fateful November day unraveled an empire, a poignant reminder of how a singular action in the digital age can have seismic repercussions. In examining this narrative, we also see reflections of ourselves, our hopes, our fears, our eternal quest for something beyond the ordinary. Zhao's story is not just about cryptocurrency. It is about the innate human desire to chart new territories, to innovate, often without fully understanding the terrain we tread upon. And so, as we close this chapter, let us carry forward the lessons of ambition balanced with caution, innovation tempered by wisdom. In the quiet moments that follow, let your mind drift gently, like a leaf upon a tranquil stream. Allow these thoughts to settle, like soft sand beneath a calming tide. May they guide you into restful slumber, where dreams explore the uncharted paths of the night. Sleep well, dear listener, until we meet again.